All right. Attempt number 2. We hope we have volume this time. So welcome. We are super excited to be here with you with another edition of Workshop Wednesday. Today, we're going to talk about 3 simple steps to build your standout brand. If this is your first time tuning in with us, I'm Mike.
And I'm Carla.
We're with MikeandCarla.ca and Rise Marketing Academy, and we help people build their business using the power of social media and actual marketing skills. Drop us a line. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Love connecting with everybody in the community. Even if it's on the replay, drop us a hashtag replay. We will circle back and give you a shout out.
Okay. So why is this important? So let's dive in. So today we're going to go through the 3 steps, obviously, to build a standout brand. But first, we want to sort of give some backstory on why building your brand is really, really important in the industry that we're in, and how simple, why it's really important and how actually simple it can be. So it doesn't have to be about having a fancy logo. It doesn't have to be about having a website. It doesn't have to be about fonts, about colors, or all those maybe other things that you might have heard associated to a brand.
Yep.
We're going to break this down today and give you a really powerful yet very simple way. So the biggest problem that we face right now is that our businesses aren't when we originally start them. So you could be at a different evolution in your business,
Yep.
aren't actually a real business. And here's what's happening. Okay. So a real business is bigger than any one product or company. If you have a single product or service, you actually don't have a business, you have an offer, right?
Yep.
And there's some risk involved in that. This business right now can be taken away from you overnight. Your business, a real business, has employees, it has contractors, it has inventory.
Yep. And it's something that you control, right? You own and control a core asset. In MLM, we really have zero control. We have zero ownership. We have a tentative contract with a company that really owns our downline. So how do you fix this? How can you create it so you actually do have a business? You turn yourself into the business, you build you incorporated, and you brand yourself first.
Now, okay, so the other reason why you want to do this is because it's going to give you the opportunity, and this is for a whole nother live, is to control your asset, which is your email list, right? So we're going to talk about that in another live, but it's really important that you start with this task of building you Inc. by building your brand, right?
Yes.
So we have a big question. We've already said who we are, so we'll skip past this. We have a question for you today. So in your opinion, what makes people join your team over any other team, even the same team within the same company, right?
Because you're going to see that happen. We've seen it happen where we've been in an opportunity and we've made a presentation, and a few months down the road, we see somebody that we've talked to that has actually joined. So there was something that we did wrong, right? That didn't attract. We didn't deliver the value that that particular prospect needed.
He said the answer, right? So the answer is, the more valuable you become to others, the more they will seek you out. And that's Mike Dillard from a Magnetic Sponsoring book. So
yeah, drop us a 2 if you've ever read Magnetic Sponsoring by Mike Dillard. It is a fantastic book that we highly recommend you check out.
So the more value, so when we think about that, what does that really mean, right? So right now we think, well, this is huge. This was a huge aha moment we had for ourselves, right?
Yep.
Because when we were looking at one of the reasons why we weren't growing the way that we were, intending to grow, it was because we didn't bring enough value to the table yet, right? Yep. We weren't offering something to people other than a distributorship that 1,000 other people, hundreds of thousands of other people were offering the same thing.
Yep. There was nothing that separated ourselves from the sea of samesies. Over 20 million people in North America doing network marketing, affiliate marketing, all these things. So you need to be able to stand out from that crowd, right? Separate yourself from everybody else and make it so people are like, wow, if I join Sonia, look at all the value I'm going to get. It's going to make a real difference in your business.
So people are looking to acquire something when they join you. They're looking for, and this is really a book from Russell Brunson, it talks about status, right? So people are moving to a different status. So they're trying to seek what brings me more status. What do I get by associating with that particular person or that particular group of people?
Yep.
Okay, so on to the next one. Okay, so now we're going to break down the steps to becoming magnetic, to building you ink. And we're going to go through 3 really simple steps. So the first thing is doing a self-audit, right? So writing down on a piece of paper, what value can I bring to the table right now in the eyes of my leads?
This always isn't the easiest thing to do. But sit there and really dig deep and write it down. And you're going to be surprised what you're going to find. And you're going to find that you actually do have value to bring to the table. We all do. We all have our own unique story that can help people, right?
Right. So here's what Mike was kind of alluding to, where sometimes when we start to do this exercise, we think, oh, I'm feeling kind of small, right? Yep. So this happens to everyone. This happens to us when we did this, that you do not need to be an expert to add value. There's this huge myth that if you are in health and wellness, well, I need to be a nutritionist or I need to be a doctor. Yep. Not true at all. This is where you share what you're learning on your journey to add value, right?
Yeah, and you only need to know a little bit more than your prospects do, right? Than your audience does. We think about this all the time. This is one from one of our favorite mentors is, be a grade 4 to the grades 2 student. Put yourself back in elementary school. Remember when you used to be like, oh, wow, those grade 4 students are amazing. They know everything. I look up to them so much. Yeah. Well, a lot of times in these journeys, guys, we are that grade 4 student to that 2nd grader. We don't need to be an expert, but as we travel down our journey, what people are going to gain from that value is learning the possibility of what may be possible for them. I mean, just that simple value alone. A lot of times people, when you're sharing your story, they're not thinking about your story. They're putting themselves into your story and wondering, can they do that for themselves? Right?
Exactly. So now we're going to go into step 2. That's learning about yourself from other people. And these aren't people that are sitting on the sidelines. So these are people that are, doing some sort of activity that's challenging themselves, moving themselves out of their comfort zone. An entrepreneur, a person who gives you their honest opinion, not a doubting negative Nelly type person, right? Yep. So yes, you can put up on your wall, hey, when you think of my character, what 3 words come to mind? So you can put that up as a post. And only take the ones from the people that when are legitimate.
When you do this, guys, you have to be prepared for, maybe you're going to hear some things you don't want to hear, but hopefully you hear all positive things. But obviously, you take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So pick the people that matter, right? Okay. So then sent to chat with a couple of your friends. Like, what type of advice or help would you come to me for? Yep. When you think of me, what comes to mind? Because this is going to sort of help you to uncover, like, maybe I think this is my value, but other people think that this is my value. So how am I going to think through that, right? To maybe change that course and course correct if we're way off on opposite poles.
Yeah. And this is one thing that is really changing things for us in our business is thinking about the people you have attracted or would want to attract. And are those the people that you want to go on your incentive trip? Do you want to spend a day on the beach with them? What do they all have in common, right? Like if you're building your team with attraction marketing and you're attracting the people that are valuable to you as well, it's going to change the whole outlook of your business. It's going to make it more fun too.
Yeah, exactly. So then step 3 is you're bringing it all together. So make sure that you, as you're collecting this, you have it in a notebook on one page and you're just going to review it and say, hey, was there anything unexpected that came up for me? Like, people said they'd come to me for financial advice, but here I am loving to talk about health and wellness, right? So I got to kind of think, I've got to sort of build that journey differently when I'm moving them to knowing me as that. Look for common themes. Was there certain things that just kept coming up that people said, oh my gosh, I've seen her in conversations. She is the closing queen, or I always go to her for help when I'm, needed more help with 3-way messages or something like that.
Yeah. And a lot of times, guys, we have, different people on our team that we can leverage this from and borrow their experience as well. again, it doesn't always have to be our experience, our expertise in this as well. You can leverage other people's experience and expertise.
100%. And then when you're thinking about all these areas, what excites you the most? So rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, and 10 is like, oh my gosh, I'm lit up. I could talk about this for hours, right?
Yep.
Because the biggest part is having passion. So if everybody says, well, you're great at financial stuff and you have zero passion for that, then you do want to switch your value,
yep.
right? Okay, so here's a couple of examples of people that we work with and people that are on our team, and how we're going to break them down for you. So how you can see this comes to life through different people's experiences. It's really cool.
Yeah, all of these people follow the same strategy in building their business, but as you notice, they're all presented a little different, right? So with Tina, she shows stressed out, overwhelmed women how to reclaim their joy and energy with a 3-part holistic system. She's very specific on who her target market is, right? She's got a specific business she's looking to build.
So what value, when you read this from Tina, what value would you think you would gain from being around Tina? You might think, hey, the cool thing is she knows it's going to be just 3 steps to reclaim my joy and energy. That sounds simple to me. That sounds doable. So there's her value straight up right there. Now, Jessica, she is right now, when you look at what she's sharing her journey, right? So she's saying, I'm advocating for mental health. Yep. So come along with this journey with me, and you're going to see how I'm doing these things, right?
Yeah, and being a mom, a wife, a positive attitude, an entrepreneur all the time. And look at the size of Jessica's family, guys.
Family is huge.
Right? So she's on a different journey than Tina is, but she's following the same strategy. Yeah. Both Tina and Jessica have branded themselves specifically on their journey.
Exactly. And then Dawn, another totally different approach here. So Dawn is really starting at the more of the business side, right? So she's taking a different angle to the business side than the product or the journey. And she's saying, okay, I show network marketers how to attract a team they want to hang out with on the incentive trip. She's very clear in the type of person that her value is you're going to attract the team that you want to attract when you come to my page. Like, I'm going to show you how to get the beach baby people,
So as you guys can see, you can be on any different journey inside of the same business using the same strategy and present it in a totally different way. Yeah. It all depends on what journey you're on and what you're sharing.
And what value you bring to the table, right? And so that can all be done by following those 3 steps, which I think is pretty cool. So here's a quick warning about Building You Inc. There are some things that we have to be really clear about. So to back things up about a definition of a brand, and this is a little bit scholarly, but it's important. A brand is a promise symbolized by an identity and delivered through an experience. So when you're building You Inc., your promise is very important. So when you're saying back what Tina and Jessica and Dawn are saying, you've got to show up that way. You have to show up to align to that promise, or what happens is people don't trust you. You instantly break your trust. Your identity is in this situation is you and how you're showing up every day. It's not your logo. It's not your font. In this situation, it's simply you. And the experience is, how do people feel after interacting with me? Okay. And when you do that right, it is believable. You are different than all the other distributors, and you are relevant to your people. And those are the most critical things about Building You Inc.
Yep. And one of the most important things in this whole thing, guys, is you see at the very top of that green circle is you. Showing up as you, being authentically you, because that is what the people are going to connect with. Again, we all have our own unique story, and our story is valuable and it can help people. So showing up as you is one of the most important things about your brand. It's
actually the biggest way you don't have competition, because you are you.
Nobody else is you.
Exactly. I feel like Dr. Seuss right now. Okay. So please let us know your takeaways in the comments. What did you learn today? Any questions for us? We're happy to answer them.
Yes.
We'll come back on the replay and catch the questions and answer them. Okay, and then
so if you're saying, hey, this is awesome, I would love to build me incorporated, but I'm not 100% sure how to put all this together, and I would love some help. I'd love some guidance. We have a couple of really amazing offers for you guys. The Attraction Marketing Formula ebook is an ebook that absolutely changed the trajectory of our business. It is a way to basically change your business and get zero competition, the absolute best way to generate leads and get paid in the process for people who aren't even interested in your business, which is a very powerful way to leverage and create cash flow for your business, and how to use email to automatically grow your business list. So this is something we talk about all the time. So guys, if you want to check that out, how to really build you incorporated, check out the Attraction Marketing Formula. Drop us an Attraction Marketing Formula in the comments below. And if you're, looking at other opportunities and mental wellness is your jam, the next 10 to 20 years will be dominated by that. The mental wellness movement is really taking hold right now. And we have got all of this laid out to really help you build your business, you incorporated, and help lead the mental wellness movement. So if you want to check that out, drop us a mental wellness movement below and we'll get you connected and see if it's a fit for you. Once again, we thank you for spending your time with us.
We can get out of our
We
big
will
giant
exit our screen share here.
There. We're still not.
And we're back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for spending your time, guys. We truly appreciate you. We will be back again on Friday. Have a fantastic week up until then. Take care and have a great day.